Suggest, of course, you might want to keep it zipped buttoned, you know, not necessarily offend any more people. But as we've seen with the former royals known as Harry and Meghan, they simply don't care. They've now hit this point, I would suggest, in their careers where they know, you know, the public has turned against them. Businesses are certainly fledgling away and thinking, no, it's not really for us, we'll see how this peters out. And more importantly, now they've got to decide, you know, what direction they want to go. Now, where I find this interesting is if you look at the bio on their brand new rebranded website, it literally goes on and on. Amazingly though, she's managed to get more words on the website than he has, even though his achievements, one might suspect, were a little bit more commendable. No, you can never upstage Meghan, as Harry's found out. But what's interesting also now is, as one can imagine, they love this particular rebranding. It sells them, of course, as the couple that they truly now want to be. You know, fake royals, playing at it, that sort of stuff, without all the hard graft and the work. Interesting though, they want this now from the British royal family. Let me explain. Morning, nice to see you. Thank you so much for your time today. By the way, yes, I just wanted to say, I don't know if you know this man at all, Steve Wright. He was an amazing DJ over here in the United Kingdom. Met him a few times at BBC Radio Centre. Sadly, we've just lost him, but I was just thinking about that, you know, with everybody here in our community, Howard Chums and that sort of stuff, about really, you know, when you think about it, radio people of a generation do become friends, don't they? You listen to them every day, you kind of get to know them, you know, that sort of thing. And I was sort of thinking, is there anybody in this sort of climate today that you know, or do you listen to the golden and oldies DJs on a radio station, you know, that you think, oh yeah, I remember his voice? That particular collection of Radio 1 DJs was my era, you know, the thing you grow up from school with. I would listen to him in the school playground. Very clever individual, loved radio, and sadly got the boot by Radio 2 for simply being too old. And now, as we've seen, I think the shock of that really was a little bit too much to bear. Sad news, in fact, for, of course, the late and brilliant broadcaster Steve Wright. Look him up if you haven't heard him. Very funny man. Back to your royal story of the day. Fascinating stuff this, because as you can see, Meghan Markle and, as I say, Prince Harry have rebranded themselves yet again. They are sort of working towards all sorts of things, you know. Thought they were doing that with the Time cover where he looked like a hairdresser, you know, the sort of thing. But now, what's interesting, as we told you recently, both Meghan and Harry were unhappy with their inclusion on the British royal website. And as I told you before, you'd think they'd give their high teeth to be on such a visited website. It doesn't matter what they're saying, it really is just the PR. That's what's the value of it, you know. But now, according to a very well placed source, Harry and Meghan want their bios updated with this. That's right, their own specifically written special version of their achievements. They want it to reflect on both sides, whether it's the British monarchy that you're visiting, the monarchy that apparently have been so bad to them they had to escape to find freedom. You get the picture. And what's fascinating also when you look at it from this level is that, you know, they truly believe a lot of what they're saying. I mean, you know, no mention, of course, about, you know, family values, all of that sort of stuff, you know, really. I mean, you can't do that when you've ostracized all members of your family. But what you can do, of course, is try and get yourself included with the version of your story that you want on one of the world's most visited websites, the British royal family website. Apparently, you know, Harry and Meghan feel this isn't too much of an ask and wouldn't be that difficult to include. They've sent it over, they're just waiting for a response. Yeah. And you just kind of wonder, don't you? I'm sure King Charles would just clear the decks and think, we must get that done. Meghan has spoken. Either way, I don't see this being updated anytime soon, and no doubt they'll blow another gasket sat out in Montecito. Always good to share though. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.